So, good afternoon, YouTube. So, what I decided to do is I've embarked and invested into a coaching program, which is all about aiming to get to effectively a minimum 100,000K within 12 months. So, to create a little bit more accountability within myself, I have decided to effectively share my experience with my audience. Now, my audience currently is, I think, maybe two people, but it's okay because I also want to see if showing up consistently on YouTube attracts more people to the point where I can potentially repurpose this so more people can see it. But the main idea is to share my experience, offer you value to the point where you can potentially get inspiration, follow the journey, feel part of it, but more importantly, it's to help you. So here we go. So I just did my first video. So the very first video is effectively just an introduction to the platform. So this model is a group coaching program where we all start together. There's lots of pre-recorded videos, there's lots of Q&A, there's lots of chats, there's weekly Zoom calls, one-on-one opportunities. You can book calls with coaches. So there is an abundant amount of support, which I think is fabulous. But I've just written down some of the key points from the call that I just watched, like I said before. So effectively, the overall of the video was just giving a brief of what to expect in the coming 12 months. Okay. And it's effectively what I would call as intention setting, which I think is really important for everybody on a daily basis, is to set the intention for your day because that has a dramatic input. And I'm just going to take a moment to share a story. So, a really good friend of mine, David, um, kind of vaguely, I would say vaguely, that's probably not the word. We kind of knew of each other. We both got promoted at work, started in a new role, started we actually started a very similar journey together on this. But I always remember that once we started, before every single shift in the morning, he always looked at me and he said, Seb, today's going to be a great day. And he said this consistently every single shift that we worked on. And the importance of setting that intention, because more times than not, rather, we had a great day. And be that working together, be that overcoming circumstances, doing the right thing, that mentality, that emotion, that feeling, that intention was huge. And it's only when you pause and reflect back that you really start to understand the value that that happens. And the one true point when that kind of really registers is when I turn up for work, David's not in, and the intention was not set in the morning. And it's only later in the day, and you're like, oh, I've had a terrible day today. So intention setting is huge. So the intentions of this is for me, naturally, is to show up. So one of the big things which I will incorporate, and you potentially hear me talk about this going forward, is Inceptivism. So that's my baby, that's my philosophy, that's my mantra, that's my way of life. And one of the key things, one of my consistencies that I live in alignment with, I practice daily, is I show up for myself. And this is my promise to myself, to you, is that I'm going to show up and I'm going to do everything in my power to make this successful. Because I believe, and I truly believe, belief is seeing, not the other way around, not what the world tells you. We don't see and believe. We need to believe first, and then the world sees it. So I believe this is going to be one great journey. 12 months. It's going to fly by. We're going to learn a lot. We're going to make a hell of a lot of mistakes, but we're going to keep going. We're going to keep trying. My promise to you is I'm going to try my best to be consistent, raw, unscripted, a few loose bullet points, and I'm just going to share. And it's an opportunity for you to follow my journey, take what you need, forget about the rest, and see generally how this process works. So one of the big reminders mentioned in the video is show up for yourself. Show up for yourself. Effectively, it's this idea that they will provide the tools, however, they're not going to use them. It's my job, my responsibility, my ability to respond, to pick them up and start using them to my advantage. If I don't know how to use them, they will teach me, but they are not going to do it for me. A big caveat to this program is I need to show up, I need to be responsible, I need to do the work. One of the sayings which I wrote down, which I thought was really important, is perfectly imperfect action. Perfectly imperfect action. The idea that we need to wait. We're not ready. I need to fine tune this. What's the color? What's this? What's that? Prime example, this background that you see, procrastination, debate, many, many hours of energy. What should I do? Should I put a logo? Should I put in my name? Should I have a color? Should I not have a color? Should it be white? What should I wear? All of these things constantly go around in my head. But the reality is, if you're on the other side watching this, what's the most important thing to you is the content, is the value. Am I showing up? Am I being myself? The background, you forget about it. It's a bit like the idea when you talk to people and you're organizing your wedding and you're really focused on the small little details and the attentions and the name tags and the flowers. Yes, it helps. Yes, it creates the environment. Yes, it creates that atmosphere. But equally, none of your guests know. So it's that how much importance are we playing to that and how much are we using that for an excuse before we actually get started? Just a few ideas there. Key points after perfectly imperfect action. So effectively it's just go. It's just fuel the jet, keep going. We can do this. Learn, we're going to make mistakes, but we need to progress and practice makes progress. And we are here to progress, which means we are here to practice and we just keep going around in a loop. Personal responsibility, my ability to respond. We touched on this earlier. And showing up. That's a key message for this program. Fully participate. I'm all in. You're in or you're not. And for something like this to be successful, you need to be fully engaged, fully present. I was watching a video a few months ago, and it was this idea that the wonderful Tony Robbins, how can he continually charge millions of pounds a year for one-on-one coaching? And the simple thing is that he keeps showing up. He keeps being relevant. He keeps putting his face in front of people's eyes. So he's always there. He's always remembered. He could quite easily retire or stop the free stuff, stop the programs, stop helping the masses, and just show up for the £1 million clients. But then what happens after 18 months, 24 months? Eventually those clients he's helped, they start to disappear. And somebody else comes into that space. So it's this idea that, yes, depending on the success levels and how far you're going to come, and I'm, you know, fully confident that people watching this, you will reach that level. But it's that idea of how do we maintain that? Because we have got to keep showing up. This is a choice, it's a lifestyle. You're doing it, you're following your dream, you're following your heart, you're following your passion to help people. And as long as we maintain that, and we bring in that energy and that enthusiasm and that love for what you do and the value and the unique skill that you're offering to the world, just focus on just doing that, then by default, not only are you going to change the world, but you're going to make some money. And I think one of the key things I learned over the last few months is making money, it's not a bad thing. What it actually helps is when you make money and you repurpose that, you start to help more lives. Rather than one-on-one, you can do a group coaching program. You can run adverts. You can put on events. You can put on retreats. You can put on all these different types of events to help support people on a larger scale. So always remember that because it really helped me recently. The alternative, I just do this because I love doing it. It's not about the money. You're then also sending that message to the universe. I don't need money. I'm okay. So the universe always provides. So what's the universe going to give you in return? Exactly what you asked for. Think about that. Book out training times. I think this was crucial as well. So it's this idea, like I said, we're fully showing up, we're taking responsibility. But there's training calls every week. Book in, make the time, allocate, show up, learn from other people, build the community. Show up with your camera on, take part, put your hand up, ask questions, and learn as much information as possible. Really share that experience in the community and just own mistakes, own failures, own progression, own the questions, and really just all or nothing. But equally, as a subtle side note to that, you make all this time for the calls, but you need to make sure you make time to work on your business. So it's literally very simple, but you treat your business as it is your brand new job. Regardless of how many jobs that you've got, you need to focus, you need to make time, you need to make this work. It's not going to do it by itself. You are effectively everything at this stage. Don't understand? Ask. It's a big one, potentially. Stepping into the fear, filming this video, fear. Am I going to be consistent with it? Fear, uploading it, fear. Afraid to make a mistake, afraid to put your hand up, just trusting that it's somehow going to figure itself out. Not sure how useful that is. Always ask for support, always ask for help. I'm here, I'm telling you, this will be the first of many videos. If you ever need any support or help, you just ask. Worst case scenario, somebody says no. Best case scenario, they say yes, and it changes your life. Very, very simple. Effectively, the next few minutes of the video was just speaking through the different processes of the program, the stages where you can, in the vault, where you can get your videos, where you can get your Q&A. And what I really liked was the end, obviously coming from a coaching background, this idea that it was really setting an intention again, and we're focusing on the end goal with the idea that we're going to reverse engineer, but most importantly, focus on the feeling, focus on the emotion, focus on your why, your purpose. What is it that is motivating you, driving you to do this, to be successful? So this idea of, is it money? Is it freedom? Is it family? The list goes on. But what I like is that you need to focus on the emotion always, because everything that we ever do is emotion driven, and life is about experiences, life is about feeling. And if we are passionate enough, we've got enough drive, and we value ourselves to the point where we're just going to show up. But we're not only going to show up, we're going to smash this out of the park. It's going to be home runs for everybody. We're going to do this. So, day one, first video down. I'm about to watch the second video. So, if you like this, follow, subscribe, whatever it is. But know that I'm going to show up. I'm going to be consistent. I'm just going to get ready now to watch my second video. Speak to you all soon.